What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below. Also, let me know what else you guys would like to see me review. I know right now it's feeling like I'm doing the Pedro Pascal universe because he's in 2 of my current shows. If he shows up on South Park, damn, he's really overworking right now. Alright, so let's move on to some of the info about this episode. Actually, before that, this will be similar to some of my other show reviews. If I'm doing a weekly episode of something, what I'm going to be doing is, first half of the episode is spoiler-free talk. I'll eventually give you guys a warning of when I'm going to spoilers, and then I'll actually give some spoiler talk afterwards. But don't worry, I won't be talking about the spoilers in the non-spoiler section, just because I want to make sure everyone's able to enjoy the episode. But if you want to know my thoughts beforehand, that's all great. Alright, so let's move on to some of the info about this episode. It's titled The Apostate. Release date is March 1st, 2023. And the cast for this particular episode is Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, Emily Swallow, Marty Metellus. Sorry if I said that last name wrong. Katie Sackhoff is also in it, but she's only like at the very end, so I didn't really credit her as much. With a runtime of 35 minutes. So, real quick, guys, I'm going to talk about the plot of this episode, but it's mostly going to be what I'm thinking is going to be the plot for Season 3. So, one thing that I will say was annoying is that we didn't actually, and if you guys have noticed why I look over there, my dog, I can hear him snoring a little bit. So, the last time we saw the Mando, it was in Book of Boba Fett. But we didn't actually know how much time Grogu had been with Luke. We actually did find out earlier today that Grogu was with Luke for 2 years. So it's been a while since we've actually gotten a Mandalorian episode, technically in the story canon. And we don't even know how much time after when Mando and Grogu were brought back together, how long it's even been since then. But we do know it's been at least 2 years. We do know that he's still trying to figure out how to regain his honor or whatever it's called, because he's not considered a Mandalorian anymore because he took off his helmet to Grogu in Season 2. So he's still trying to figure out how to get that back, but he's been told by the armorer that the way to do it is to go to the sacred waters in Mandalore and bathe in those waters. So my guess at the moment is that we're kind of setting the plot up for Mando having to do this mission to Mandalore, I'm thinking by the end of the season. Since these episodes aren't that long, that's why I'm thinking that's the end of the season arc. Where Season 2, it was, we gotta get Grogu to his people. Season 2 was getting Grogu to his people. Season 3 will be, now Mando's gotta get his honor back. That's at least what I'm thinking they're gonna do. Alright, so here are my spoiler-free thoughts on the episode. They do not mess around. We actually do get action really quick into this episode. And like I said, they're trying to set up what's going to happen with this season, in my opinion. Of course, they're going to see Grogu doing very cute things because, I mean, Baby Yoda sells. He's got his son. They have him doing cute things already in this first episode. You're just loving the dynamic between the two. Seeing that Naboo starfighter again, because we didn't see it as much as I would have liked in the... was it in The Mandalorian? In Book of Boba Fett. We didn't see it as much as I wish, but this one we actually do get to see it in action, and it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Let's see, what else was there? Like, we already know what this episode is setting up for the rest of the season, in my opinion. We already got a new villain that was introduced in this episode. We got pretty cool stuff. I gotta say, like, spoiler-free, like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I'm really excited. The Mandalorian is the one show that I think Disney knows what they're doing with. Like, Season 2, a lot of people are going to say it was a wash, it wasn't as good. No, what Season 2 was I'm doing a bunch of, like, backdoor pilots to a bunch of other things, and that kind of affected Season 2, but it wasn't like Season 2 was bad, because, I mean, how it ended, come on. There's no cooler thing. So yeah, Mando's doing his thing. I'm really enjoying what they're doing so far. If I did have one complaint, and I think this is for all of Mandalorian, is I think the episodes are a bit too short. I kind of wish they had a little bit more meat on them. At 35 minutes, but you gotta remember, like, 5 of those minutes is credits, so it's really like 30 minutes. And then there's also like the intro stuff, so let's put it down to like 28, 27 minutes. And I don't feel like that's enough time for getting enough with this character. Especially when we have only 8 episodes a season. It's like, come on, guys. Can't you beef that up to like 44 minutes? That way we can get a little bit more with each episode. But that's just my opinion, guys. I'm not sure if everyone agrees with that. But yeah, I like what they're doing here. They're setting things up. I'm very excited. So now let's move on to my score. I'm going to give this first episode an 8 out of 10 for great. At first I was trying to tell myself, is it a 7? And then I rewatched part of it and I was like, no, it's an 8. So yeah. Like I said, I can't give a 9 because there are a few... It's not even that slow. It's more exposition for what they're doing like right now, and it was like, all right, I didn't really need all of that, but everyone gave like Carl Weathers coming back, and that's the thing, the time jump is really funny because they go back to Navarro and it doesn't look the same planet that we saw before. So I feel like maybe that's why they had to put in a separate post like, hey, it's been a while since we've seen these characters, because things happen and it's just like, whoa, that's not what I remember seeing you guys last time. So they kind of had to go talk about what happened there. But yeah, overall, like I said, 8 out of 10. So let's move on. Oh, do I recommend this? 100%. I mean, Mandalorian, it's Disney's favorite Mandalorian. If people were like, oh no, what about Boba Fett? It's like, guys, Book of Boba Fett just got a new set of Funko Pops. Guess who didn't get a new pop in that set? Boba Fett. You know who did get one in that set? Mandalorian. So who's the favorite? He's getting pops in the show that's not even his. So he's clearly the favorite of Disney. Boba Fett, sorry, used to be the favorite, not anymore. Alright guys, so yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode, spoiler free. Let's move on to our spoiler section. So I'm going to give you guys a quick warning. So going into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, welcome into the spoiler section of the episode. Right away, I'm just going to talk about things that we saw. So at the beginning of the episode, so I kind of, in the spoiler section, I kind of give a rundown of the episode, saying some stuff about what I saw, what I thought about those things. So right away, we see the armorer, and she's making something, and just seeing her, like, I'll admit, at first I was like, wait, is this happening in the past? Is this happening in the future? And she ends up making a new helmet. Now, my thought was like, well, is this supposed to be like Din when he was younger? I had no idea if we were setting this in the past or the present or what was happening there. So she comes out, and there's a bunch of Mandalorians. So I'm thinking, oh, well, last time we saw her, it was just her and one other Mandalorian. She gives this kid the helmet, and we're believed to think that now he's a Mandalorian. And out of nowhere, this giant turtle crocodile-looking thing just attacks all of them, and I'm just like, oh, I guess some of them are gonna die here. Or like, is this something like, is that kid Din? I'm not sure. Sure enough, like, they're fighting. It's a cool fight scene, guys. This is what they do right here. Is just like, oh, this is really cool. Like I said, they went off the ground right away running. But then out of nowhere, we see the Naboo starfighter, and I'm like, whoa. So this is after the events of Book of Boba Fett. And I was like, how did you get so many Mandalorians in that quick a time? And like I said, I saw the episode before I knew about that 2-year jump. So that was one thing right there. So I'm like, oh, I guess in 2 years she recruited that many people. So, who knows? Sometimes plot holes happen. It is what it is. Like and subscribe. All right. So yeah, that's the first part of it. Now, Mando ends up shooting the thing with rockets or something that they shoot out of his ship. They bring the thing down. He goes down out of his ship to go talk to the armorer. Now, he has a conversation with her, and she still says, like, you're still not a Mandalorian anymore because of taking off your mask, your helmet. And he says, all right, but what if I go to Mandalore and, like, bathe in the waters? And she even said, like, Mandalore was destroyed. But he's like, what if? Like, he shows, like, this artifact that he found that makes it seem like, oh, those waters are still there. So now he has to figure out a way to get to Mandalore in order to go do all that stuff, because if he does it, he can get his honor back. Sounds a little bit like Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but whatever, still fun. So Mando needs to go over there, but he knows he's not going to have the help of the Mandalorians. Even though he has a Darksaber, they're not going to help him. So he ends up going back to Navarro, and because he's going to look for Carl Weathers to give him help. I forget his name of his character right now. Sorry, guys. I should remember a lot of this stuff, but I don't. Let me see if I can see. Nope, don't have the name on me. All right, whatever. It's fine. So now he's with him, and he tells them, "Hey, I need to go run this job, and I'm gonna need some help." But before that, these pirates show up, And these pirates are kind of dicks. They're like, oh, we want to get a drink. We want to get a drink because they're thinking that this bar, this school is still a bar that it used to be. And he shows up and he tells them it's no longer a bar, guys. We've changed this into a school. And they look like they want to get physical with them. One of them is the leader of them, Vane. He wants to shoot him. And luckily, Carl Weathers ends up shooting his gun off. But then the rest of his crew, there's 5 of them. The other 4 want to start shooting. But of course, Mando stops that like right away and he kills all 4 of them. Vane ends up getting away to go tell his boss, like, to stop messing with them or whatever. And yeah, that was a cool scene. And this is when Mando actually says what he came there for. He actually wants to get IG-11. IG-11? IG-80? I'm pretty sure it's IG-11. If I screw up, guys, sorry. I'm trying to do a lot of this off memory. IG-11, because he needs him to help him for this mission. And he needs a droid that he can trust. But even here sounds like a little bit of a plot hole because they are able to kind of repair him, but his memory unit's kind of messed up. So for me, it's like, well, can't you just grab another droid that's similar? Like you're saying, oh, like in its memory unit, like I don't get it. Like if it's a different memory unit, then it's not the same droid. But it's one of those whatever, guys. It's Star Wars logic. I'm gonna go with Star Wars logic. So they do end up finding, like, he has to go find this repair unit. He goes to these mechanics to go fix it. They're like little Bobo Frick characters from Rise of Skywalker, little tiny ones. And it's really cute because they end up fixing everything. And it's funny because, like, Mando can't understand some of the words that they're saying, but they're saying some stuff in English too. And Carl Weathers ends up being like, explaining like what they're saying, but even though they're saying stuff in English, and you can tell Mando's just like, I get it, but he's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna let him say that. And it's funny, like they just tell him he needs to get the repair unit. He's like, oh, okay, I can go get it. But there's this really cute scene where Grogu, like these things are tiny, they're smaller than Grogu, and Grogu tries to hug one. He's like, oh my god, he thinks it's like a toy or something like that because they're smaller than him, and he's not used to seeing things smaller than him. It was adorable, guys. I'm putting a clip on it. You should be seeing it right now. It's adorable. I really enjoy it. All right, going on from there. Now Mando has to go. He's gonna go see someone else. So he takes off from the planet, and he's in space. And of course, those damn pirates are back, and they want to attack him. There ends up being like 6 ships that attack him. He ends up destroying 5 of them, but Vane is still alive. And Mando, and this scene's awesome, guys. Just go watch. This is cool Star Wars, like, action in space. Like I said, this episode had 2 action scenes. It's like, whoa, I'm already signed my ass up. If we're getting 2 action scenes in one episode, I'm all in. The end of the fight, what happens is Vane ends up tricking Mando into coming back where his boss is at, and he's in like a giant cruiser, and this thing is meant to destroy. And you're just like, oh, Mando is screwed. He's probably gonna die or something. I mean, he's not gonna die. The show's named after him in season 1. Luckily, he ends up jumping into Lightspeed. I'm like, it's Lightspeed in the show, right? Yeah, it's Lightspeed, and he gets away. And then he ends up going to this one planet near Mandalore, and it's where Bo-Katan's at. And she seems like she's having a rough time. It seems like after the events of season 2, since she didn't have the Darksaber, her forces all left her, and she's by herself. She doesn't really have an army anymore. Like, her plans to take back Mandalore seem like they're done. And she looks all depressed. And she's basically telling Mando, well, you have the Darksaber, go get them yourself if you want your army. And you can, I'm definitely sure that they're going to start some stuff between those two, that there's probably going to be friction because of the whole, he is the one with the Darksaber. But it just makes it even cooler to go through the next couple episodes. So yeah, those are the events of this episode, guys. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because I thought it was great. Let's see. Do I have anything else I want to say about this episode? Not really. Like, I'm just excited to see episode 2, but there's so many things between now and then that I'm like, I don't even know if I can just think about that. So let me just tell you about some of the future stuff I'm going to have coming out soon. Plan is to have South Park out tomorrow. I was going to have South Park and Mandalorian out on the same day, but right now I'm just realizing that's too much work to get done in one night. So South Park will be Friday. Saturday, if possible, I'm going to get Creed 3, but maybe that will be on Monday instead. Still trying to figure that out. And then I'll have the new Last of Us on Tuesday. So those are the plans right now, what's coming out soon, guys. If you want to check out any of my other reviews, I have all of the episodes of Last of Us that's come out so far. Same for South Park. Go out and check those out. I think they're great videos. yeah, so that's it for me, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And I'm really curious, did you guys like this first episode or not of Mandalorian? Because I'm already really happy. It seems like a soft reboot on it. So I'm really curious what they're going to do next, but I'm really enjoying it, guys. I hope you do too, and I'll talk to you soon.